Super welcome. This is Slack Community Amsterdam chapter. A lot of things are going on, so I will be updating you on some news. That's what is in Slack and what are the events that we're planning. And I'm going to introduce you amazing speaker guests that we have today, who actually probably didn't know, but Slack Community was born and started at VIA Developers. So we are going to talk a little bit about it, but yeah, today's topic is on building the community. And please feel free to ask any questions in the chat. I will really try to connect, put your questions, and so please do connect with each other. So I see you already sharing LinkedIn profiles. Please do. This is amazing because yeah, that's why we are here. So we are here to connect people and so to help each other with any challenges that we're facing. And the best of what you can do is to learn from the people who already did that. So from Azad Ahmetovic, so he's the CEO and the co-founder of the VIA Developers. So we will get to him before. I will quickly update you guys on the things that go on in the community. So one important mentioning, it's very hard right now to be present in the moments of the online events. I think it, like a lot of people, I do too, try to multitask, you try to answer some emails and this kind of thing. So I suggest when you start getting to learn from Ziad, please do try not to multitask, just relax and just listen and just try to be present in this moment. So super welcome. Amsterdam chapter it exists from 2020 January, so best time ever. The COVID only started, and so we started the community. Everything was online, and so now we do hybrid type of the events. So we do also meetings, face-to-face meetings in Amsterdam. So please follow the updates. I'm gonna tell you how. My name is Alla. I'm based in Amsterdam, and I became the first chapter lead in Amsterdam community. And to be honest, how I did, I was at the VIA Developers Conference and I met Elizabeth McKinsey. So she was at that moment community manager at Slack, and she said, yeah, I'm building community. Anyone wants to join? And I just came there, I had the interview, I submitted the form, and I started the community. If you are in the city that doesn't have the community, but you would like to start the chapter, it's very easy. So just reach out to me. I will explain to you. It's a lot of fun. Then you will have you will meet a lot of nice people, and so you will have a chance to really try yourself. As an organizer, as a speaker, because it's quite challenging. So I'm also a little bit introverted person. So I like to take things one step at a time. But I love communities and building it from 5 people to 400 right now. So this is like the thing that I'm super proud. So quick things that we're going to do, quick announcements about the community, and we jump into the conversation with Ziad, and so we will cover all the questions that you have. So we will try to finish on time. So that's a promise. And the recording will be available after the event. It will be emailed to you. So just a reminder that we have some values. We are here to share, to help each other, to connect. I already see you do that. It's also, and so I think for me, this session is going to be a lot about getting to know how you can inspire 12,000 people. So that's, I hope that you'll get this energy also from this event today. One thing to share with you very quickly as well, this is 2 years ago Slack Iceland anniversary. So what I mean by that, Slack selected a few chapter leads, me and one from Vienna, Nina, and they just booked tickets in Iceland and just move us there and recorded a very nice video. I'm going to drop the link in the chat just because, and that's just because they wanted to support those who are organizing these communities, and they wanted to make it very special for those people who are building communities. So this forever changed my life as a community manager. If you are thinking about creating your own community or joining, so yeah, things could really make a big difference. By the way, if you hear any interruptions, please let me know. I do feel like my headsets today, so I hear some noise myself. So let me know. I hope it's not the voices. It's very easy to join. 12,000 people, I believe, also quite a number, lucky number. The Slack community has a lot of chapters in the worldwide, so you can check it out. But we also have a workspace where you can share a lot of information with each other if you're building on Slack. So that's also possible. Quick updates, Dreamforce is available for everyone for free. A lot of videos, a lot of inspiration. And I don't know if you heard about the Einstein AI. So that's, I think it's a cool name for the AI tool. So it's everyone is talking about AI, and of course it's a big topic. So Dreamforce is a yearly event that gathers a lot of technology-driven people and sharing the latest updates in the technology world. So please join. So next event, quickly. I tried to make it in November. I still need some help because I organized something that will be Slack AI or Slack GPT friendly. So I need to have some nice examples and to show you some ways how Slack GPT and the applications that use generative AI and used in Slack can help you become more efficient. I love that you know things connected between each other, so you can have like I don't know if you have such a manager who's sending you like a super long messages, and you can click one button like summarize it for me, please, or maybe you can even respond respond to your manager. So let's see, why not, right? Yeah, so that's what we'll be thinking about to launch a new event about the Slack AI Slack GPT in November. So please follow the updates. And yeah, no further waiting. So I think I was talking too long. I would like to welcome on a virtual stage a person who really built the Europe. Probably it's going to be the world's biggest technical communities for software engineers. So Sead Ahmetovic, thank you so much for making the time. Thank you for being here. And yeah, so please introduce yourself for those who don't know you. And yeah, please.
Hi, Ella. Thanks for the nice introduction. Pleasure to be here and having a conversation with you also in that format. So thank you very much. Yeah, as you said, my name is Sead. I'm a software developer from a background, have a technical education, worked as a software developer for many years. I love talking with people. I like you know, sharing knowledge with people and so on, which is the basic idea of we are developers as well. I have 2 cats. I'm a husband, a baby, and yeah. So that's the short introduction. But yeah, happy to answer all your questions today.
Thank you so much. It's super nice to have you here, and we are going to have 2 types of questions. Ones that were already sent by the community when they learned that you're going to be here, and I'm going to be taking live questions. And again, I remind you, so Slack is amazing. So if you would like to have some, so please drop your question for Sead here in the chat, and yeah, we will choose the winner. So are you ready to start?
Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, this is the first question straight away, jumping into something practical. And you said you have 2 cats, baby, and a huge community of software engineers. So any productivity hacks in Slack or in any other things that you have that you can share?
Good questions for the for the introduction. I mean, actually, just you know, just using it and trying to use a lot of automation using using the integrations that you have with the apps, for example, with the HR tool, Request, Jira. Like I would say, all of these things that are amazing because it's not just a chat. Otherwise, we could also use if you remember, like ICQ, MSN Messenger, or Skype. But I think there is so much more like that you can explore, especially with the integrations. Other favorites that I have is like this Giphy tool, like when you just want to share some emotions. And I think one thing that I really like is that we are developers. We have a good vibes channel, where actually, like, when something positive happens throughout the day, when we get some nice feedback from members of our community or so, then we post it there, so the whole company knows, because most of the time only a few people receive some communication from the external world, and others are maybe just because of the type of work they are doing, more like work in front of the computer, like the software developers and so on. So we have this one dedicated channel where we just post, like, the good vibes from the community, and I think that is a very lovely story.
It's a positive stuff. We have community members sharing that the workflows and integration of them with Google Sheet are super amazing, such as using it for daily reporting. That's for sure. But I guess that not everyone yet tried Slack AI with the workflows. So I will be very interested if it can really modify things for us a lot. So do you have anything like yelling? So we have it's like social yelling chat, everyone writing with caps lock, so just to steam, and I find it funny.
Maybe you can try that out. Why not? We have a face palm channel, so like when we encounter things that are like really kind of, hey, can't believe it that this is true, then we put the screenshots there.
Wow, this is very creative. I have never heard about the face palm chat. We definitely taking it from you. So I'm gonna move to the next question. Yeah. So what actually inspired you to start via developers?
Yeah, that's a good one. There is, I would say there are multiple factors, but probably the biggest factor was that before we started We Are Developers, I and my co-founder, we had a digital marketing agency. So we basically, did web development, app development, digital consulting, all of these things, building, e-commerce shops, and while we were doing that, we were attending many events. We were, like at these classical startup events, HR events, business events, sales events, and so on and so on. And what we saw is that the communities there, the events there, like they really celebrate their own work. And we felt that there is missing something similar for the people who actually build all the software and build all the foundation that is needed for the work that the others do. So definitely there have been a lot of developer conferences, but what we found that is missing is that there is kind of a roof community for all the different tech stacks, because the developer community was very cluttered in different, let's call it, tribes. So you, for example, if you're a Java developer, then there have been conferences where you go as a Java developer, like JAX or something. If you're an Angular developer, if that is your kind of field of interest, then you go, for example, to NG Vikings and so on. So you actually never went to an event where all of these people meet together, no matter what is the software stack they are using. And so for us, it was, okay, we want to do a conference for developers, whereas we define developers as everyone who is involved in the software development lifecycle. So we also consider product owners, security specialists, QA engineers, and all of that as developers. In the future, prompt engineers who use GPT, for example, we also consider them as developers, because it's just about building great software. So everyone who contributes there is for us, are a developer. And yeah, we wanted to initiate a format where these people meet, network, of course, also learn through sessions with inspiring leaders and technical talks. And yeah, at the end, it just happened. So we started this as a hobby project. It was a first meetup with 300 people, and then grew over the years to now this year 12,000 people, which we are very proud of. And it's a lot of fun. It's what we do full time. And yeah, that was the story of the early days, I would say.
It's amazing. How many people actually right now behind We Are Developers?
So we have around 80 employees working full time at We Are Developers, but we don't just do the event. So the event is, I would say, the thing that we are known for. But we also have a platform where you can consume content as a developer, where you have a job board if you're looking for a job, where you can read updates about the hot topics that are currently discussed on the market that you maybe should know as a developer. We have a big newsletter list of 150K developers, where we send them one weekly update with, hey, here are some news that you should know that happened in this week. Here are 5 videos that are maybe interesting for you. Here are 5 events that are upcoming from us or from other organizers. So for us, it's about adding value to the lives of these people, and adding value in our case works a lot of has to do a lot to do with content. So we create actually a lot of content with developers from the community, but we also listen like what they want to hear. So we know that in the past, let's say 20, 30, 40 years, there have been many pioneers in this community, in this tech area. Are people who invented programming languages, people who founded companies that developers love, who founded products that every developers use. And so we are trying to bring these people together. For example, the founder of Stack Overflow, Joel Spolsky, he was a speaker at all of our events so far since 2017, and he's kind of an idol for software developers, and for myself as well. So it's always good to connect then him and the community, and he's very approachable, for example, and that motivates the people to stay on the track, to do a good job, to grow personally, professionally. And yeah, but to answer your question, yes, we are 80 people. I would say in the core event management team, it's around 5 people working on that. But for sure, you have done marketing, you have sales, because we have to finance all of these things, obviously. We have a developer relations department with Chris Heilman leading it. So everyone in the company somehow contributes to the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I have so many comments about it. So you started 2017 with one of the first events, and I do remember seeing Joe Spolsky just being so close to the audience and talking about some failures, some success stories, and like being so open. And by the way, after the talk, he's always available to sign the book or to make a photos or this kind of thing. So I saw lines of people standing, waiting for him just to say him thank you for inventing Stack Overflow. And people were saying that because of Stack Overflow, I had a job, I really succeeded to get promoted, and I found all the answers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is for me personally as well. Like without Stack Overflow, I couldn't have made this career, because when I started as a developer, I just went out of university, applied for the first job, got the job, and then started. And but literally, I didn't know anything. So everything I needed to do, I had to Google it up and Google it, and then I landed on Stack Overflow, and it helped me like just doing my work. So I remember back then I was always saying we should all pay taxes to Stack. Yeah, but it is what you say. Like the people are very approachable, because usually, like especially in other fields, for example, in sports or in the entertainment business, showbiz, and so on. When you think of kind of some idols for the people there, then you don't think about like, hey, they're approachable, I can talk with them, I can learn something from them, because you don't meet them and they're really big public figures. And in our community, what we see, all of these kind of big names are very humble people. Like they're from blood and flesh, as you and I are. They're happy to chat with the people, learn something new. And this is something that is like just motivating, because we are just working with very humble people, who see themselves as part of a community, and who see it also as their responsibility to kind of give something back and share their knowledge. At the end, we all benefit from that if we kind of advance our world.
Is it the quality of the person to be humble, to be successful? Because I saw you in one of the first events, and I didn't know that you're a CEO, the co-founder. Like, you were, I don't know, you were like running with the chairs, bringing people coffee, doing some like, I don't know, doing sandwiches. Like you were like you behaved like you're working there. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see you in the kitchen or somewhere else. So um,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always good if everyone has helping hands, and I do think that at the end of the day, we need to stay normal. We need to stay humble. We need to be nice to each other. Our company value at We Are Developers is togetherness, and it's actually the only, let's say, official company value. Because at the end, that is what matters. It doesn't matter if something like, if a project is successful or not. Of course, it somehow matters, but at the end, if we give everything that we can do, everything that is in our power, work together, help each other, it will pay off on the long term. Of course, there are ways how you can have big success short term, but yeah, I mean, that's I think also has something to do with how you grew up, with mentality, with I often say like to people also in my company, like at the end of the day, like, hey, let's do great stuff together, and we are just playing roles. So yes, I am the CEO of We Are Developers, but it's just a role that I play in my life, right? So I have some responsibilities that I have to take care of in this role. Others in other positions have their responsibilities, but at the end of the day, we all share the same kind of foundation. That we are human beings, and this is how we should also behave.
It's very interesting because it leads us to the next question that's actually from me. Um, it's about the unique culture. So when people start in communities, often it's just a volunteering. In Slack, it's also volunteering, and so you just do that because you're very passionate about it. And but then you like it's successful, you get paid. You build the team, and I've heard really like stories from your team members that I'm so happy I found my purpose. I can change my role. And people like, it's a lot of travel, it's a lot of communications, a lot of things, but there's no pressure in your company. So how do you do that?
It's a good question. I think it has a lot of it has to do what I shared previously, like a minute ago, but it also has to do with we don't punish people for mistakes, especially if you do things that are not kind of that don't exist. That you can't learn. There is no university for building communities. I mean, maybe there is, but I didn't see it. There is no kind of right or wrong. So what I would say my motto is, and I think that my people hear it every day and like all the time when they have questions, and I often just answer like, hey, do what you think is right. If you do what you think is right, nobody will kind of blame you for doing that. And so we try to empower the people to think about solutions when we encounter problems, because at the end of the day, I mean, everyone has a specialty. Like, just because I'm leading the company, it doesn't mean that I'm an expert in everything. Actually, I'm probably an expert in none of these specialties, and this is why you need great people who are kind of bringing in their knowledge, and yeah, because that's why you work with these people. Like, why would I hire, for example, let's say a community manager, and then tell the community manager how to do the work? I mean, there is no point in that. And I think, I mean, we see that in many successful startups and many successful organizations, that we kind of got rid of this old school management system, practices, tactics, and so on. It doesn't pay off, especially now. Like, people want not just to earn a salary, they also want to have fun at the job. They want to do something with a purpose. Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't be happy to go to the office, or be it the physical or the virtual office. I wouldn't be happy like going in there and just seeing numbers or employees and so on. So it's, for me, it's always I'm very happy when I meet with my team, because there is like personal stories we share, yeah. So at the end, it's what I said earlier. It's about staying, being a human being. That's it. And at the end, all of us also make mistakes, and that's totally okay.
Nice. And of course, I think it depends on the mistakes level, but I think you're really encouraging people not to be afraid. And yeah, so maybe that's the secret why I saw only happy people and VIA developers. I have never seen anyone not happy. So busy, yes, but not
Yeah,
happy.
busy, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so we do have questions. So let me see, answering live. So, Siad, how do you differentiate between competences and skills when evaluating team members for growth and development? Wow.
Competencies and skills.
Yes. You have quite a lot of recruiters.
No, yeah, I know. But just thinking like, what would be a good answer? I would put it like that. I'm not evaluating too much about the skills and also the competencies, because both of them you can actually build up while you're working on something, especially in the knowledge working field, right? As I said, there is no university for many, or no studies and programs for many of the things that we do. For me, the most important thing to kind of, when I hire people, or when we promote people inside the company, for me, it's about the motivation, the self-motivation, the intrinsic motivation. And I don't even like the word motivation, because it's overused. Like, in every job description, companies are looking for motivated people and so on. So actually, at the end, it doesn't mean anything. But for me, I would put it like, I look for people who have this kind of ambition to make their own lives better, not necessarily of the company, but their own lives, who have some kind of grit. And I think that's because that defines how you work, that defines how you approach challenges and these kind of things. And if you are ambitious, then you will kind of then you will always find a way to build up a certain skill or competencies. So yeah.
It's really great. I mean, yeah, looking at the personality, like the person itself who is doing the job, right? So I think it's yeah, it's quite
So I would say
refreshing.
competencies win over skills, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And we have another question from the live audience, from Luis. Yeah, can you please share an example of a time when your team faced a significant setback or challenge, and how you relied and motivated them to overcome it?
Yeah, when you do events, you have many of these, right?
Tell us the juicy one, something really funny. Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, COVID, the pandemic definitely was a quite challenging time for us, because as an event organizer, with doing a 10,000 people event, and then you get into this crisis, then that certainly does something with the team. So in our case, for example, it was like we had planned our VIA Developers World Congress 2020 in June, and then end of February, there was already something in the media. As everyone else in the world, we thought it's like going to stay a few days, maybe a few weeks, and everything will be fine. But then it went quite fast, so everything closed down, and we had to face that challenge. So I remember well that 16th of March was a Monday, when we had a company meeting and basically sent everyone home to be safe. But for me, for example, and there comes this company value, togetherness. For me, it was not an option to kind of, let go people, even if you are probably in the worst industry which you can be in that situation. So we said, hey, we are gonna figure out how to survive that. We have an event coming in 3 years. We sold already many tickets. We have paid a lot of money to venue production agencies and all of this. It's really quite financially a challenge. We had many sponsors under contract already, so you kind of need to figure out how to proceed with canceling or rescheduling the event. I think what we did was the right thing. We said, okay, we don't know if the event will be postponed by 1 month, 2 months, a year, or 2 years, but we are gonna play it safe. We are gonna say, hey, we don't do any event this year, so we will reschedule it for next year or the year after. We will be very transparent with that communication. We will talk to our community, we will talk to our partners, we will talk to our suppliers to kind of get some solutions for the contractual situations and refunding and all of these kind of things. And to the employees, we said, hey, don't fear about your job. We'll find ways how to survive that situation. We will create new revenue streams, which we then did with virtual offerings. So at the end of the day, like when the pandemic started, and let's say 2 years after, only one team member kind of left the company, and everyone else, and back then we have been around 35, I think, everyone else kind of stayed. So that is a big success, and I think it was this kind of humbleness, openness, transparency, togetherness, as I said, and sometimes it's simple. Sometimes it's I remember like one of the first conferences we had, we were lacking catering, so there was a problem with the catering supplier. That was 2017 or 18 or 17 or 18, I don't know, it doesn't matter. So yeah, what we had to do is like just make sandwiches throughout the night ourselves, and we just we were tired afterwards after making sandwiches, like the whole
How
team.
many thousands sandwiches you had to make?
I think it was 3,000 or 4,000, but it's not just sandwiches. Like you need different ones, you need different options and these kind of things. But it was like we said like, hey, let's make a fun project out of that, and everyone should help. So one team is going to buy everything that we need. The other team is kind of setting up like this lane. Like we've been joking. This Henry Ford has. Must have felt like that when he did his kind of, so let's optimize it. And we had teams like who can do it faster, like you try that approach, how many sandwiches can you make in 5 minutes, and the other team does the other approach, so what works better. So we tried to kind of take it as it is. You can't change it. We have a couple of thousand people outside waiting, or tomorrow waiting to get some food, so let's just get it done. And when you do an event, there's like thousands of things that go wrong. The good thing is that in 99% of the cases, nobody knows what was the initial plan, right?
Yeah, that's oh my God, this is like really hilarious story. I hope you have photos for the future. I don't know, to share it. That's great. No, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, we have another question. I think very relevant one. Yes. So you say you are one of the biggest Europe community, right? So are there any plans to expand community across the globe?
Yes, can't talk too much about that, but we do have some plans in the, let's say, upcoming 12 to 18 months to not only strengthen our presence in Europe itself, so coming to some major European tech hubs. We announced, for example, a coding competition, Code 100, which was an experiment from us. So we wanted to do kind of a TV show like production of a coding competition, like a mix of Jeopardy and American Ninja Warrior or something like that. Feels very entertaining and fun, maybe not too serious. There is no such thing as the best developer, but yeah, let's say this is some kind of championship. And at the end, we had like 3,000 people in the audience, drinking, enjoying the music, the DJ, dancing, and we had 32 challengers on stage who kind of competed in different quizzes and coding riddles against each other. That was a lot of fun, and so we are bringing that format to several cities in Europe. I think it is London, Amsterdam, and Zagreb will be the first cities. Afterwards, like there are other tech hubs, we want to bring that format to, like Barcelona, Milan, New York
Berlin?
is on our list. Yeah, Berlin is the final. So actually these kind of other cities are playoffs, and the best developers from there qualify to then join the main competition, the main final in Berlin. So everyone who wants to win some great prizes, not just cash prizes, but also meaningful things, just stay tuned.
Yeah, we actually had the question like how much so for the community. So yeah, I had, you see, like what is the code? 100 you already explained. Yeah, and like how much can you win?
Yeah, so our prize pool this year was it was actually more than 200,000 euros, but we communicated 100 because it's a nicer number, and the competition is called Code 100. It lasts for around 100 minutes. You go from 0 to 100% and so on. So we didn't want to change the prize pool, but yeah, I mean the winner got a 10K cash prize. I mean, all the 32 competitors got some cash prize depending on the rank. Then a lot of traveling. So we are going with the winner and the finalists to the roadshow together. They are going to join us as ambassadors. Then they kind of had a Zeppelin kind of flight over Munich, which happened I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago, provided by a partner. So there's like interesting stuff. It's not so much about the prize; it's more about like kind of the experience. But yeah, the prizes are nice as well.
Nice. No, this is good. I mean, by the way, there's a GitHub repository from your lead DevRels. I forgot his name. He posted. Yeah, so he posted it, and or someone from his team. So I recall, yeah, like there's a repository from GitHub. So if you're interested to participate, you can have a look. What were the questions? Just a few challenges are shown there. So it's interesting. Quite a lot of recruiters, by the way, also. We're interested in the chat with you, and not everyone knows, but you do have like tech recruitment also channel. It's like webinars, Twitter accounts. So because I think this is the best combination, developers and recruiters learning from you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like a lot of companies want to work with us because they want to get some visibility in the developer community, where we then say, okay, yeah, that is a long-term project. You need to kind of, be an attractive tech company. It's not just about posting a job ad somewhere. That doesn't work anymore for a long time, actually, already. You need to kind of really be a company that people want to work for, and not just developers. Of course, we can help them. We can consult there. And we provide content there as well. We have like my counterpart in the company, I would say, is Rudy, a dear friend, and our I would say chief evangelist for also the tech recruiting and future of work target audience. He is a very, in my opinion, he's one of the, let's say, maybe biggest experts when it comes about how to build a nice culture in a company. And he's doing a lot of content there, has a big network, and yeah, so everyone who's interested in kind of how tech recruiting works, then I would say Rudy is the right guy to go to, besides Allah, of course.
Now I will drop his contact because yeah, he's amazing. So he's
Yeah.
I think a connector of people and yeah, super knowledgeable person and also looks very fancy profile. But when
Mm.
you talk to him, he's super nice person. I think that there's something going on with the titles in your company. So I just tried to Google it on LinkedIn. I was very curious and like everyone is like super director, evangelist, chief, and this kind of things. I think you're really giving your team whatever title they want to be director, to be whatever, and I think it's super awesome.
Yeah, I mean there is a organizational chart and the titles make sense. I mean, 85 people. It's like not we are not a big corporation, but we are also not a small startup anymore. So we do have a quite good structure, I think. But in terms of the title itself, honestly, like it really doesn't matter. It's more like I see titles as when you meet someone that they kind of initially immediately know, okay, like what is the topic we talk about. So if you are kind of a sales manager, then I know you want to sell something to me, and that's an information that I can then take into consideration, because we are then probably not going to talk about software development. And that's for me the purpose of titles, but it doesn't mean like that someone is a better person or a worse person or whatever. And at the
Yeah,
end, the work needs to be done, right?
exactly. I found that you to do titles very creatively in a way, so people are happy to have them. Quick question about monetization. So, any advice? Because you are the CEO of the company, right? So you're supposed to like bring the money. I think so. So, any advice for those who would like to build a community but also make money on it?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, for us, for example, it depends. Like it depends if you do it as your main work or if you do it like as a hobby project. So when we did it as a side project to our agency business, it obviously we didn't even think about money because the event was smaller. We could finance it. Of course, we found some sponsors. Like the first thing you do is like calling some companies and asking them, hey, if you want to get some visibility, please here have a few square meters, put your booth there and be part of the event and help us financing the community. And that is quite easy, but we pretty soon we kind of realized that this is a lot of fun, right? And it also serves an additional purpose, and it helps people, it motivates people. And we said we want to do that full time, and that meant that we kind of stopped working with our agencies, didn't do any consulting, any side gigs anymore. And that also meant that we need to kind of find ways for monetizing what we do, because it's not, it's pretty expensive, like to run that. And I'm not just talking about the event, because as I said, like we are known for the We Are Developers World Congress, but we also have this platform. We have software development that we do. We have a lot of things going on, and at the end of the day, I wouldn't say that there is like one way to monetize a community. There's many ways. Like you can sell tickets to special events. You can organize paid workshops. You can sell booth space. You can sell visibility to companies. You can have a subscription for your community. There are so many ways, but I would rather put it like in a different way. I mean, first of all, it depends what type of community you build, what is the target audience, what are they used to and what not. And the second thing is you should always kind of run your community independent of the financing. So of course we are a business. Of course we are not an NGO. We are very open about that. But we treat the community aspect of our business as kind of very independent from everything else that is there. Similar to media companies, where you kind of, you can't. At least it should be like that for media companies, but you can't buy, um, um, editorial or news just by being a sponsor. You can buy advertisements on the in the newspaper, but you can't buy the article or the reporting. So at least if it's a professional media company, a professional publication. And for us, it's like our biggest asset is not, you know, the cash on the bank account or the company value or anything like that. Our biggest asset is the community, are the people who are in that community, and this is what we serve. We try to have very low entry barriers for them to join the community, to join the events, actually. So when you compare our ticket prices, for example, to other events from the industry, you will notice it's like, you know, 4 to 6 times cheaper, while you have still like much more content and much more experiences that you can get there. The important thing is that you put the community first, add value to their lives, add value to their professional lives, their personal lives, make them happy with what you do. And then when you have the community, there will be always ways of financing these kind of projects. I would even say that's not even the hardest part. The hardest part is to kind of win the hearts and minds of the people of your community and to figure out what they actually want and how you can serve that.
Amazing. Thank you so much. The last question was around the planning for 2024, but I think you said that you can't share a lot yet, so we have to stay tuned. I believe that's already tickets for lower prices already available on the website. And those who would like to follow the code 100, you can subscribe for the updates. It's also on the website. And when I'm going to send the video to you all participated and those who registered, I will also add the links for the newsletters and some useful links that were mentioned. I learned a lot. I mean, it's also like what I wanted. I wanted to be inspired by you and so to take some things with me to the community. Thank you so much for this honest chat.
Invitation. Thank you for the invitation, and thanks everyone for the questions. So I'm happy to join again whenever you need me. And until then, have a good time and keep on with the good work you do.
Thank you so much. And in regards to the winners, so we had 3 questions, and I'm happy to give a Slack to these all brave 3 people to get the presents from Slack. Please do reach out to me on LinkedIn or by email, and I will make sure that you get your presents. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day, and you will receive the video soon to your mailboxes. Thank you. Bye-bye.